I told you yesterday this was a test from Sony PlayStation to see how far they could push us and how much we liked it or complained. Not that I have experience in this, it's just an analogy. I clarify just in case. In yesterday's video we were talking precisely about these ads that PlayStation was putting in the PlayStation 5 operating system. And I told you a story which now becomes a story of the past. About Ubisoft doing the same thing and then saying it was a system error. Oh, sorry. Well, guess what Sony PlayStation did this morning? If you're a bit lost in this, don't worry, I'll recap it very quickly. Yesterday, we found out that in some regions of the world, some users were seeing ads inside the PlayStation 5, directly within the Play system, where there shouldn't be a single ad. Because you're paying for the console, you're paying for the service, you're paying for the games, there shouldn't be any ads. Well, but yesterday there were. And quite repetitive for many users around the world. It was a small fraction compared to the total number of PlayStation users. But there were many, just like Ubisoft did at the time. Now Sony says it was a system error. Ah! What a coincidence. No. It wasn't a pilot test to see how far we can push our people. It was simply a system error. Please understand. Welcome to a new video of these in which a YouTuber reads a web page and reacts to what he is reading. A format that I personally hate, but on this occasion I am very happy to do. We are going to switch to Spanish because I don't handle English well. This is cinema, people. This is cinema. Sony blames a technical error for the intrusive ads in the PlayStation 5 control panel. Comments the medium BGC look. This is a note that you are going to find in some media. I would like to say many media, but no. Unfortunately, it is only in some. It is taken from an official PlayStation communication, but we start here. Sony Interactive Entertainment has said that a technical error was responsible for the appearance of annoying ads in the control panel. It wasn't even a person's fault. They don't even attribute it to John Perez from the technical department. That would have had a bit more honor. No, a technical error. Do you remember these images that I showed you yesterday? Where there was advertising, more were added. Because there are more games that were advertising, like Final Fantasy VII, like Battlefront 2 advertising Electronic Arts games. Even Elden Ring. Advertising Elden Ring, which is fine. It's advertising your own game, but it doesn't have to be there. Let it be somewhere else, but not on your Play 5. Well, new cases were added and other things that were appearing on Twitter and things like that. Mr. Kitty appeared, out. Well, this was a technical error. It was not a market test at all. It was not a cut and paste to see what happens. Let's go to the official PlayStation statement, which is also a statement, not at all extensive, made on Twitter. Through the official account of the Play, the statement says, since then a technical error has been fixed. With the function of official news on the PlayStation 5 console, there have been no changes in the way game news is displayed on PlayStation 5. This is all they said. From PlayStation, at least from the Sony support page, the official one, the one with 1.7 million followers. Technical error, my two balls. What you are about to see next happened approximately 11 months ago, during the past year. A user, I believe in France, an Assassin's Creed Odyssey player was playing the title. Sorry, it looks a bit dark, but that's the capture. And on a loading screen of his own game, that which you just saw appeared. That like this. This in Black Friday sales 20% discount on Assassin's Creed Mirage. Well, this happened last year with a Ubisoft game. You know that Ubisoft is a leader in messing up. Well, here they were, of course, making a note. This promotion, this advertising that happened within a Ubisoft game. It only occurred in very specific regions. I believe some users in the United States and some users in France and little else. Immediately after this happened, Ubisoft came out to say, and be careful here with the similarities, they are pure coincidence, that the advertising in Assassin's Creed is due to a technical error. Let's close everything. Let's close YouTube. Let's close gaming. PlayStation is now imitating Ubisoft. No, that's it. We lost everything. players reported that advertising windows were opening while they were playing various Assassin's Creed games. I remember seeing examples from Valhalla, not from Odyssey, but well, from Odyssey. There were several Assassin's Creed games with advertising. We have learned that some players have encountered advertising windows while playing some Assassin's titles, a Ubisoft representative explains. This was the result of a technical error. What? Technical error? What are people talking about? We're not fools. Well, it's wrong for me to speak for everyone, isn't it? I mean, there will be those who are fools and those who believe this, but I think the vast majority of us who have already left kindergarten understand that there is no technical error or anything that forces an operating system or a video game to put up advertising. Someone has to do that. Someone has to make the decision. As I told you yesterday, they were testing to see what the reaction would be. Ubisoft did the same thing, testing to see what the reaction would be. Electronic Arts did the same thing a while back. I don't know if you remember that EA was trying to put ads on the loading screens of sports games. Another issue, because Electronic Arts are other mercenaries of the devil. And now PlayStation is doing this to see how far they can push. The entire community reacted to this. You reacted. I reacted, some more radically than others. But we all disagreed and let these brilliant businessmen know. They always seem to make and earn more money doing better. Yet they constantly want to charge and sell us more, including advertising. Paradoxical, isn't it? Well, we let them know. That's great. Because if we don't set limits with the things we buy and the things we accept, if it were up to them, we would be playing games with an advertising break every 5 minutes. By the way, I invite you to share this video on all your social networks so that this reaches more people and more people find out. And remember what is happening, because just like with Ubisoft, not many people remember what happened. And it's good to have memory to know where things come from and where they are going. But this was not the only thing Sony PlayStation realized yesterday. It seems that yesterday was a day full of revelations for Sony's executive brains. Ha! Tremendous. Do you know what else they realized? That speculators are buying the PlayStation 5 30th anniversary. Yes, that which we knew was going to happen as soon as this console was announced. Well, Sony is just finding out. What are they doing about it? The same thing Valve did at the time. Set conditions for the PlayStation 5 Pro reservations for the 30th anniversary. What is the condition? Well, that you have a PlayStation Network account in which you have played at least 30 hours between February 22, 2014 and September 19, 2024. That is, you have played at least 30 hours before you found out that this console was going to hit the market. This measure obviously comes late because they are only applying it in Japan. In the rest of the world, the reservations for the PlayStation 5 Pro 30th Anniversary Edition and PlayStation 5 Slim 30th Anniversary Edition are already worthless. Why? Because you already know the speculators, the friends of those who have a store, those who have privileged information that we do not have, were buying all these accessories online. And now they don't even have them, but they are already selling them. That is, they sell you the reservation, let's say, to put it in some way. Well, it seems that they found out at Sony PlayStation that this happens, and they applied a restriction rule so that it doesn't happen as much, at least in Japan. Let's see. The intention of today's video is not to be a PlayStation hater or anything like that. Rather, well, to give a bit of an overview of what these people have in mind. And that we have this collective awareness as gamers that the people who are behind PlayStation, the people who are behind Xbox, the people who are behind Nintendo, from whatever company, are not our friends. They don't even think of us as people or as collectors or fans. They think of us as mere numbers, as customers. That's why they refer to us as consumers. Because that's what we are to them, mere consumers. People who spend money on nonsense that they sell us. Well, now we have at least a somewhat coherent policy from Sony PlayStation regarding these collectibles. When Valve announced the Steam Deck about 3 years ago and announced the pre-sale of this console, they used a reservation policy similar to the one they are applying now, 3 years later by Sony in Japan. You couldn't pre-order Steam Deck if you didn't have a Steam account in which you had purchased something before June 2021. Well, the thing with Steam Deck is that this strategy didn't work out quite well, and after a few speculators ended up sneaking in, there was an overselling of the console and so on, but at least they tried. At least there was an attempt. In this way, there will also be those who buy to resell the PlayStation 5 30th anniversary in Japan, whoever wants to do business with this. But at least you limit it a bit or put some obstacle for the speculators who are the ones who end up ruining the collecting and making people like us, users who dream of having some collectible edition of something, unable to. Can't even if they had the money to do it. It takes me a lot, but a lot of effort to believe that from Sony, PlayStation or whatever company they don't know this. It's very hard for me to believe that they don't know that we're not going to like the ads inside the PlayStation 5. They don't know that speculators are going to buy all the PlayStation 5 30th anniversary and resell them at triple, quadruple, or 10 times more. Someone in or the whole damn company has to know it. They're supposed to do market studies, they're supposed to have professional people knowing it and so on. Well, they're also supposed to have people who know about video games, yet they end up approving titles like this crap and end up losing $400 million, right? We assume a lot of things about PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo and whatever, but evidently we assume more than we should. And they're not as smart as we think, because if they're just now realizing that they have to put limitations for speculators and just now realizing that we don't want advertising on consoles, well, obviously they're not very bright. And not only are they not very bright, but they're not our friends. Remember that. Don't defend them to the hilt or sword and cloak and sword. Well, don't defend them. Go around preaching the defense of a multinational company that doesn't care about you. Long live video games, long live the creatives, long live the stories and the moments we've lived. Let's share that. Let's live that. But let's put a break and know how to separate the heartless businessmen who try to take our money down to the last penny without offering us anything in return, from the creatives and the beautiful stories and those moments from childhood that we've lived. It's a call for reflection, and it's a reaction video of those that I criticize so much, but that I do every now and then. I hope you liked it. If you liked it, I invite you to subscribe. If you didn't like it, I invite you to share it with your enemy, of course.
Because if you didn't like it, you share it with someone you don't like to hurt them in
today's podcast. Because yes, I have a podcast. I go out every day from Monday to Friday. I play music and talk about video games. In today's podcast, we talked at length about this topic. And I invite you to watch it. I invite you to listen to it better because it is only in audio. We talk about advertising in video games, what's happening with Ubisoft and many more things. The link is in the first comment. Go listen to it because it's very good and it's a way to have company. And for an hour a day or something like that. Because it's only available in audio. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.